Welcome. I'm Danielle Sally.
And I'm Eva Fusa.
And you're listening to Ghost Boss, stories about the freelance afterlife. Hey, ghosties.
Hi, I'm here.
We're back.
Oh, God. Yeah, we are.
We're having, I feel like first one of the new year, it's only fitting for us to have tech issues.
I don't know that it's tech issues. I think it's me issues.
Well,
I think it's just
fair.
me.
Fair.
I think it's just me. I'm very stressita at the moment. Y'all are just going to come along. I told Danielle, I didn't even say hello. I was like, we're just going to get going. We're just going to get going because number one, I want to capture this. Number two, we're late. Number three, we were supposed to do this yesterday. So I was inexplicably nauseous all day yesterday.
Yeah.
So much so, Fran. I don't know. No reason. I don't know. I was just sick and I was in bed and I didn't feel good. And so then we rescheduled to today. And then I'm better. I'm not great, but I'm better. And then I went to get online and Google, you know how you have to sign into a Google profile?
Yep.
And that's where it saves all. Okay. So on both my laptop and my big computer, Google, I have 5 profiles and they all say Eva. So I don't know which is which. Yeah.
Yeah, that is an issue. I have the same problem.
Okay. So I'm trying to log in and I have like our logins always saved and I can't get into it. And then like I was like, maybe I don't know the password. And then I write the password. I do know the password. I have the wrong email address because it's all
That's what I
saved.
figured.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's like a whole thing. Then we get in here and I'm trying to get all my stuff set up. I forget the stuff that we need because we haven't done this in a while. Then we do a sound check. I sound loud. Danielle sounds a little echoey. That's always normal. And then we fix it.
Always.
It's always, yeah. So we are on par. And hi.
Welcome to 2026.
I'm having a pretty good 2026. I'm just not having a great right now.
Yeah,
so
sure. That makes sense.
I feel like something else happened. I don't know. It's fine. Anyways, hello, hi, welcome to 2026. I'm still a mess. It's fine.
So Eva and I were trying to figure out what to talk about with our first episode back, but we are both freshly off of trips. So I thought we can spend some time talking about both our trips because yours was kind of semi-work related, pretty much work related. And then
It's work related. I was working.
It was work related. And then I took a legit vacation, which was awesome. So I'll get into that. Eva, I want to start with you though, because it's January. Yes.
No.
Do we not? Do you want to start with mine? I'm fine with that.
Well, you seemed real excited and like real pumped about it in your social post. I figured you could start because mine involves a lot of Trail of Tears jokes. So many. So many.
Nothing's changing in the new year, guys.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta end with that. We gotta warm them up. So why don't you give them a heartwarming story about ghosts, and then I'll talk about dead Indians. And we'll go from there.
Yeah. How the hell do I follow that? How?
You go first. You should wait till I start
here I go.
for 15 minutes. You go first.
So I was trying to figure out how do I make talking about my vacation on a podcast about working relevant, but I'll tell you what, it is because, and you know this, and anyone listening that's a solopreneur gets this. I had that debate that happens every time I leave town, which is, do I take my laptop?
Take my laptop. Yes, that's what I was wondering because I haven't traveled for not work in so long that I always take my laptop. So did you take it?
I did. And I tell you what, I took it because I didn't get all the work done that I wanted to get done before I left town. I had almost a 4-hour layover in Dallas.
Yeah.
So I figured I'll get work done. I'll get paid while I'm here.
You're in a plane. No, for real. I mean, it's not like in a car trip's a little bit different because it's hard to work in a car.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like airplanes. Yes. Yeah.
And I will say, I can't work on a plane. It's just not in me. I like to zone out. Eva, you're tiny. You can easily hop out your laptop in that little tiny seat and be fine. I am in there snug. And I'm just happy the seatbelt fits. Okay. So I can't get my computer out on that little tiny plane. But I enjoy working in an airport. I have said this so many times. And I was under such a creative block coming out of the holiday season. I did some of my best work in
Oh,
those 4 hours. I
good.
got so much
Good.
done, but I did take my laptop, and I was kinda jealous, right? Because I went with 2 other women that I know through American Advertising Federation. We knew we traveled well together. We're all 3 very type A personalities. We knew it would be a good trip. And I was a little jealous at first, Eva, because both of them commented how, "Oh, I'm not taking my laptop. I'm not bringing it. We're on vacation." And I was sitting there a little jealous at the moment because I was like, I don't have any coworkers. Like, if an emergency comes up, I have to deal with it. And I
Mhm.
was a little jealous then, but I was not jealous when we returned and I could take a rather chill next day and ease
Mhm.
myself back into work knowing they have to deal with meetings and coworkers. So I enjoyed that.
So I have a question. So if you don't work on an airplane, what do you do?
Okay, so I know you're thinking there I sit in there in silence. I
Well, 'cause I know
watch
you're
a
not
lot.
talking to I know you're not talking to anybody.
Oh, hell no. If I sit next to someone, I felt on the way back from Dallas to Columbia, there was a man sitting behind me who was just chatting with the stranger the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
it's a 10 p.m. flight. We're all trying to sleep.
Yeah.
This man's having a full-on conversation for the full 2.5 hours. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is just really inconsiderate. I was so mad. So no, I do not talk to anyone. I don't want you to talk to me. I don't need to talk to anyone. I
Okay.
listen, I put my AirPods in and I put on.
Mhm.
Normally, I write American, so most of the time, American always has Real Housewives as an option, a past season. So I always turn
Mhm.
on that, or I'll turn on the way there, I listened to a podcast episode about the Queen Mary, which is where we went. So that's what I do on airplanes. I just sit there and I meditate in my head watching reality
Mm,
TV. That's normal.
mm. No, I work. I mean, like, well, I will say this. I'm getting real good at stalking the airline app. I managed to upgrade myself for 3 out of my 4 flights.
Good job.
So,
Good job.
yeah, so one of them, I was up front and I'd never thought about this, but you don't have anywhere to put your bag in front of you.
No, I
So they
hate that first seat's
right.
the worst. I hate
So
it.
I'd never had that problem. So it was my first flight out of my trek and I'd put my bag away, but I kept my laptop. They let me keep it. I just had to like kind of like tuck it under my leg when we were like taking
Yeah.
off and landing. But Danielle, I both worked and talked to the guy next to me. I
Oh my
was, like,
god.
designing and
No.
talking to a
No.
stranger. Yeah, and then my second one was coach, but the last 2, I was able to get into first class, and my longest flight from Dallas to Columbia, it was, like, a smaller plane, so I was in first class with the big tray, and there was only 1 seat on that row. Like,
Oh,
it was
that's nice.
perfect.
I do enjoy. Listen, there's nothing I love more than a plane with a single row.
Yeah, you don't always find them,
Those
and
are the
usually they're for
best
really short
spots.
flights. Yeah, yeah, like, I notoriously do not like to drive to Charlotte unless I am the amount
No,
of
we get
medication
it.
I have to drive to the Charlotte airport
It's
is
also
considerable.
just a very boring drive. It's
Well,
very boring and it's not ideal.
it just gobbles up so much time. I was talking to somebody else about this. I was like, so, like, if I need to make a noon flight in Charlotte, right, I have to
Yeah.
leave my house at, like, 8 o'clock in the morning if I wanna make it
Yeah.
there with enough time. Because 'cause I've
Mhm.
definitely been at security for more than an hour in the Charlotte airport on more than one occasion. That is not unusual. Sometimes it's not that bad, but it's not unusual. But if I fly out of the Columbia airport to get to a noon flight in
A
Charlotte, and Columbia is
breeze.
probably right,
A
it's probably gonna take
breeze.
off at, like, 11 a.m. I'm gonna get there at 9:30, but even then, I don't need to be there at 9:30. I'm gonna get there at, like,
No.
9:30 or 10 just to be on the safe side. So now not only have I gotten, like, an hour and a half, maybe a little bit more time before I have to even leave my home, But that extra couple of hours, I'm working in the airport, I'm working on the airplane, right? Like, I've just got
It's justified.
it's just so much easier, but,
I
anyways,
agree.
that little hop from Columbia to Charlotte usually has a long, skinny plane, and you don't have to be in first class to get a single seat, so,
No, you can get a
anyways,
single seat anywhere. No, I will
you went
say
and
I
got
usually try
Go ahead.
to avoid layovers in Charlotte because
Oh
I
my.
get so if I get stuck in Charlotte, I'm so mad because I'm like, I could just be home by now. So I try to
Well,
pick any layover in any other airport.
no, I had this conversation with our friend Whitney recently. That's part of why she drives out of she'll often drive to Charlotte because she's afraid of the
Yeah,
Charlotte, Columbia, like, cancellation. I, knock on wood, have never gotten canceled out there, but I have the opposite feeling. If I get stranded in Charlotte, I can get from Charlotte to Columbia.
fair. Fair.
I can
That's a
get here.
fair.
If I get stranded in somewhere else, right? Like, I don't have that option, and it's another reason why, and this some people think it's weird that I look at it this way. That's another reason why I like flying out of Columbia, because if some weird rerouting thing happens, you don't have to necessarily get me back to Charlotte, right? Like, you don't have to take me back
Yeah.
that way. I just gotta make it back to Columbia. You can take me through Atlanta, you can take me through Tex
Well,
I
I'll
don't
go
care how
the
you get me there.
opposite on that though, because last year I had a
We went
ton
through
of
the same thing.
issues because I
I
kept
know.
trying to fly out of Columbia, and it's so much harder to get a flight back to Columbia rescheduled than to Charlotte. And I was
She said
sitting
the
there kind of
same
mad in the
thing.
moment that I didn't just fly out of Charlotte.
I don't wanna
They
do I also
redeemed
don't wa
themselves on this trip though. It's not the airport's fault. It was weather in the airlines. It's not the
Yeah, yeah,
airport.
yeah. Yeah, I also don't wanna drive 2 hours when I get back. I'm so tired, and
No.
I've been doing a lot of business trips where, like, I'm catching late flights, and I've flown in, and I've done something for 2 days, and then immediate
Yep.
or sometimes not even a day. Like, I've had multiple trips in the last year where I'm in town for less than 24 hours. So I fly in, I do what
Yep.
I gotta do, I fly back out. I'm exhausted when I get back. The last thing I wanna do is drive for 2 hours in the dark when
Absolutely
I'm so
not.
tired. So,
Uh,
anyways, so that's enough about my flight preferences. Uh, you got on a plane and then a boat?
I got on a plane and then we went to LAX. Mine also, I do need to drop. This is my first trip to California. We get to LAX and we can't get off the plane right away
Yeah.
because there was a fight on the plane and we had to
Yeah.
wait for LAPD to escort
Yeah.
the
Fair.
unruly passenger off. And I'm just sitting there like, welcome to LA, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, usually the airport's alright, but yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a little spoiled. I'm always surprised when people say they haven't been to California because I forget that not everybody's, like,
You
half
live
of their
there.
family. Right, and I lived there, I was born there, I'm like, "How have you never been to California?" It's like, "I don't know you,
I
Eva.
get it.
How come you've never been
Yes,
to
I am the
Michigan?"
same
I don't know.
same way with
Yeah.
New York. If someone tells me they haven't been to New York, I'm like, "How have you not been to New York?" But I've also gone, like, once or twice a year for my entire life. So,
Right, 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 right. Anyway, so you
oh,
go to
so anyway,
California,
so
you didn't get
I get
punched
to
in the face.
California.
Great job. Yes.
Perfect. We go out to the Queen Mary. We actually stay on the Queen Mary. I had a couple people
Mhm.
message me. They did not realize you can stay on the ship. You
Are you gonna tell
can.
people what the Queen Mary is? I didn't know what it was.
The Queen Mary is it's
There you
just
go.
think Titanic. Same era, large ship. It was a passenger cruise line. It was then in World War II converted to transport soldiers back and forth across the Atlantic. Winston Churchill claimed
Hmm,
that it was the Queen Mary that helped win the war.
well,
So
there
I'm
you
just
go.
look up all the history. It's very, very cool. And they have done such a great job kinda restoring it to its true being, like how it would have looked back when it was originally, created, so it's just
Mhm.
so awesome, but the reason we even picked the Queen Mary is because my only requirement on the girl trip is we had to go somewhere haunted. It's my only requirement. And on the Queen Mary is B340, which is known as one of the most haunted rooms in America. And we
Mm.
didn't stay in there, but we got to actually go see it. And it was very serendipitous because as we were planning this trip, my friend Stephanie, who works in hotels, she was at a conference and actually met the managing director for the Queen Mary. Hello, Steve.
Hmm.
And he gave us a personal, like, 2-hour tour taking us all these
nice.
places that, like, on the ship that not everyone gets to go to,
Mhm.
and he personally let me unlock
Ooh.
B340. I was
Ooh.
goosebumps just talking about it. I did people get a little disappointed if it's not a paranormal podcast when their name is Ghost Boss, I get it, but we are like, and Eva, when I tell you, we woke up the next day and one of the girls was like, "Guys, did you hear the closet doors rattling last night?" Like, "Oh my goodness, ghost in the room, ghost all over the place." One of the staff members said they have like 600 ghosts on there. So I was in heaven
Do
on
do they do a head count? Is there a clipboard? How do they know there's
I don't know.
600?
I don't know, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay.
So it was
Alright.
so awesome. And then one of the days that we were there, we went from one boat to another. We hopped on a ferry to go out to Avalon, Catalina.
Mhm.
And just we did a day trip there, did a little guided golf tour. This
Mhm.
cute man, Dudley, who lives out there, and he's lived there for like 50 years since he was in second grade, he said, and he gave us a tour. We met the mayor. We met the mayor of Avalon. It because she was just walking down the street. It felt like such a
Mhm.
small town. It was very cool. But it was the absolute best trip. I haven't had a trip like that in a while. So it was, and I came back, and sometimes you come back from vacation and you need another day. You need one more day
Mhm.
to like figure out your life because that was just too much. I actually came back refreshed, which was a
Hmm.
very nice change of pace.
Yeah.
But I think so many of my trips have been like work related trips, and then
Mhm.
I need that extra day to
Yeah.
just relax. But I will say, Eva, I did have that moment of jealousy where I knew I had to take my laptop,
Mhm.
but I felt like one, I got all the work done I needed to, but I will
Yeah.
say I was very grateful for being a solopreneur the next day. So that was good.
Yeah.
We also came back, it was Martin Luther King Day. The following
Mhm.
day we came back. So I had a good amount
Mhm.
of clients that weren't working. So that
Yeah.
probably helped
Yeah.
out a little bit.
For sure.
But it was epic. It was amazing. I get it. I get the whole California thing now. I wouldn't want to live there, but
Oh, yeah.
I get it. Like
Oh, God.
coming back to this, we're in South Carolina. It's 52 right now. It's supposed to get an ice storm this week. And
Mhm.
I'm like, "Can I
Mhm.
go back? Can I go back?"
Mhm.
They were freezing
Yeah.
and it was in the 60s. Like, what?
Yeah. And there's no humidity. The summer out there is great. Yeah, if I could lots of things would have to change for me to go back to live in California again. I
Listen,
would do
it's
it in a heartbeat.
expensive.
If yeah, like, if the money could work out and, like,
Sure.
yeah, a lot of things would have to happen, but yeah, oh, yeah, I'd go back to South or back to California. Absolutely.
Ugh, it's gorgeous.
100%. I love it.
Gorgeous.
And that's where, like, I'm ancestrally from. Like,
Yeah,
that's my motherland, is Southern
it
California.
is. I love it.
Explains
I
why
get it
I'm so
now. I get
fussy
it.
about yeah, that's why I'm so fussy about the weather. That's what I'm made for. Southern
I get
California
it
weather.
now. I get it. Meanwhile, I was born in Jersey, so I'm like, just appreciate what you got.
Yeah, no, no, no. I'm like, "Excuse me."
Ah,
So,
stop yelling at me.
I know, I know, I know. Well,
Ah,
good. I'm glad you had a good how big you said it's like a Titan it's not as big as the Titanic though, right?
it's bigger. It's bigger than the
No
Titanic. They actually,
way!
I so, and actually, I want to make sure I get these facts right. They said if you were to actually flip the Queen Mary, it's permanently docked, by the way. It's not like we're floating
Sure.
out there. Um,
Sure.
but if you were to flip it so that it's vertical, it stands taller than the Eiffel Tower.
That's
I know.
wild.
It's
I also
almost as tall as the Empire State Building, just shorter.
I'm you say ship boat, right? I am always, like, perplexed at the size of some of the stuff. Like, I went to what's the big, it's down in Charleston. It used to be an aircraft carrier, I think, and it's like a
Oh,
military museum
USS
now.
Yorktown.
Yes, 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 yes. I've been there, and I was just, like,
Yes.
baffled. I was
It's
just like,
insane
"It's crazy that lives in the water like
and
something."
floats and
I didn't know
floats. And here's what was wild. So where they have the Queen Mary docked, it's where also the cruise terminal is. these
Mm.
cruise ships come in and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
larger than the Queen Mary,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just baffling.
I
I'd
can't,
have the
yeah,
same response when I see a large aircraft. I'm like, "How are you
mhm.
it's like watching an elephant fly. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
insane."
the scale. Yeah, it's crazy. Or you see,
Yes.
like the boats with the a shipping container boat go
Yes,
by when you're in
yes.
Charleston.
Insane.
But yeah, my friend, I've never been on a cruise. I have no interest. Don't nobody at me and try to convince me. I'm fine. It's fine. But I have one of my close friends loves cruising, and she and her family does it, and her daughters and all this kind of stuff. And so I've looked up some of the boat, and I'm just like, it's just it's like a city. It's like a
It
city
is a
on
city.
water.
It was
It's
so
wild.
it is wild. And
Mhm.
they don't even have on the Queen Mary, they don't even have, like, all the old amenities open, but, like, there at one point, there was a swimming pool in there. We did get
Mhm.
to see the swimming pool. It's not in
Mm.
use or anything, but it's cool just to see it. They had a
Yeah.
movie theater set up in there for their tours. They have all
Okay.
these museums that are set up in there. I mean, we legit spent one whole day, didn't even get off the boat. It is and I still don't know if we saw everything. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
wild.
That's crazy.
But,
So
oh
crazy.
man, that was such a good trip. So shout out to my friends
Aw.
Stephanie and Lee because they just made it so magical. And you know what? One of Lee's daughters, I know, maybe both. One of them listens to this podcast. She told me she used to go
Ooh.
to bed listening to us talk, and I love that. So
Aw.
we'll give a little shout out to her too. So that's enough about my non-work trip.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
was your visit to you were in Oklahoma City, correct?
I was in Oklahoma City.
I've never been
Um,
there either.
yeah, so, first off, if you are one of the people that I spent time with in Oklahoma City, thank you again for all your hospitality. I had such a great time. It was really, really cool. Like, it was a lot of fun. So, the story has layers, like it does. So I was asked to judge the American Advertising Awards in person for Oklahoma City. Actually, you
Which
were asked to judge, and then
well,
you couldn't go because you had to go get on a boat, and
because
then
I had
I
to
was
go get on a boat.
right, and so then I was like, "Well, give them my information," and so I go, and then I'm having drinks after judging, talking to these people, and this one very nice fellow was like, "So, I've there's another designer in Columbia, that I know. She has long dark hair. She has a podcast with a ghost on it. Do you know her?" I was like, "Mm."
I am on said podcast.
Yeah, and then I was like, "That's fine." And he goes, "Oh my god, okay." He was like, "I kept trying to figure out how I knew you, because I thought we'd met before, and we haven't. I've just heard your voice so much."
Oh my
It's
god,
funny.
that's really
It's funny.
funny. I think I know who
It's
you're
funny.
talking about too. I think I know exactly who you're talking about. That's really
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so yeah, we did in-person judging, although it was still done most like, all through the portal. We had no physical entries to judge.
Right.
But it was a pretty big show. It was, like, more than 800. And we stayed at this, like, cool, like, indoor water park resort thing, but they had a really nice conference center, and they
Cool.
basically locked us in a conference center, not one room. We could sit anywhere we wanted, but,
Oh, good.
they yeah, they were like, "But, if we don't do it this way, judges will do, like, 20 entries a day, and we have, like, 800 for you to do."
You
Um
I did not realize when I was originally asked and then I asked if you could do it. I didn't
Mhm,
realize the size of
yeah,
that, and then my friend who lives in Texas, so she's a part of that district, she goes, "Oh,
mhm.
yeah. Oklahoma City's, like, our largest show in our entire
Ugh,
district," which, mind you, they already have the largest district. I was
yeah,
blown away.
yes, yes,
Insane. I was like, "Oh, no. What did I" and I didn't wanna even
mhm,
say that to you. I was like,
it's
"She'll
fine.
find out."
It's fine. They had 1,100 one year, so at least we didn't have
What?
1,100 this year. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Crazy.
well, and we did it. Like they set some goals for us, and they were like they're pretty aggressive goals, but like if you do it fast enough, you
I
get to
get that,
go
though.
do stuff, right? And so, we blew the goals out of the water. We
I'm
were
no doubt.
yeah, yeah. I was one of the was I? I wasn't the first to finish professionals, I was the first to finish students, though. But yeah, I landed at, like, 4:30, we started at 6. Thursday night, and we were doing deliberations at 11 a.m. Saturday.
Nice.
We did, yeah. And so we did some of the video together, which was cool. And then we mostly judged separately and then came together to do the, best ofs. And it was interesting because I really liked it because it made the best of conversation like just a lot easier, I think, because like
Yeah.
it's no matter how much like experience you have and all that kind of stuff, it is a little awkward to sit in a room with a bunch of people and be like, well, I don't like this. And I do like that, right? You know what I mean? Like just
Right.
exerting your opinion like that. And it's real weird to do it on a Zoom call with a bunch of people you don't know. So it was nice that the judges had had a chance to warm up a little bit. And one of the judges has judged in person for Midlands and spoken here before. So
Oh, cool.
Shane was there. So
Oh, how
I
fun.
yeah. So I knew somebody there, but it was cool. There's some really great work. Um, I saw some really incredible Indigenous representation, and was able to provide some like really specific insight on that. And then actually, like, it was a healthy exercise for me too, because a lot of times I get so excited if I see anything about a native that's
Yeah.
not like a white person with a headdress on or like a racist mascot. Like I just get so excited.
Understand.
Like we're not just like holding a bow and arrow and a piece of turquoise and a piece of fry bread. Like I'm just like, oh, outstanding.
Right.
So to see several pieces and then be able to like question myself, like, is that the score you want to give it, or are you just excited to see representation and then to like
Oh,
give it?
fair.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
now the I'm not going to give anything away,
Don't
because I
do
don't.
it.
Yeah. But there is some if you are in Oklahoma City and you're listening to this after, because you will later see what my special judges was. Um, that was it is one of the most impactful pieces I've ever seen in my life. And it was
Wow.
really, yeah. And the other judges didn't quite feel the same way, but there's some very specific um,
But that is why I like
yeah,
that the shows do special judges, because there's just
yeah,
certain pieces that really speak to me but might not speak to any other judges in the room, and I want to make
right.
sure that's recognized.
Right. And it was going to place otherwise, right? But it just didn't. And so later, once I know they've had their show, like we'll come back and I'll talk about it and talk more in depth on it. But it was really cool. And then there was one piece that I was like, this doesn't seem, I understand why it scored high, but it didn't seem special to me. And then one of the other judges, because of his perspective, was like, well, this is why I do think it's special, right? And so I
Yeah.
really just enjoyed that. Oklahoma City itself was real cool. It kind of reminds me like we live in Columbia. I love living in Columbia. Columbia is definitely the type of place so that like you're here for work, you're here because you know somebody, you're here because your aunt lives here, or like people will come to Columbia from South Carolina, but nobody's flying from like Des Moines to Columbia to come to
Well,
like
I don't know.
vacation in Columbia.
I moved here because of a job opening. I didn't know anything about this city.
No,
Nothing.
you moved here for no, you moved here for that. I'm talking about visiting.
Oh, fair.
Nobody's
Like,
just
no one just comes
visiting.
to visit. Yes, yes, yes.
No. And a lot of cities, nobody just goes and visits Bloomington, Indiana, right? Like we're
Yeah.
not. That's not a knock on Columbia. It's just like there's like a handful of tourist cities in this country, and we're just not.
Yes,
And we're a stop on the way to Charleston. That's perfectly fine. But
exactly.
I love it when people are here to visit me or somebody I know, or here for work or whatever, and I get to show them all the cool stuff we have.
Yes,
Um, and so I love it when I get to go to places that I wouldn't normally go and people get to show me their cool stuff. Um,
absolutely.
so that's definitely the vibe in Oklahoma City. I mean, they showed us to the cool parts of town. I bought so much art. I have so much stuff to hang. I bought a shirt. I made it into a crop top immediately. Of course I did.
Of course you did.
Um, and yeah, I thought I was going to freeze to death. Oh my God,
How
Danielle.
cold was it?
Danielle.
Waiting.
I've said this to a couple of people already. I'm going to say it again on the podcast. I'm going to omit some expletives that I used when I first said this. I didn't think I could be more upset about the Trail of Tears until I experienced the weather that they dropped us off in. Nobody should live there. Y'all are
I
all
don't think I have
delightful.
any context. Is it normally super I mean, I guess it is
It's
kinda
windy. It's
it's right in the middle,
so
right?
windy. It's not that far. It's like on the edge of the plains. It is
Yeah.
so windy and
Well,
like it's
there's
also
nothing to stop it. It's flat, right?
correct. It's flat. And and then they'll tell you, they're like, "We have mountains and we have I was like, "But you gotta look real hard. I don't have to look hard to find a mountain here. It's also okay to be flat. It's fine. It's fine." But, like, it's so flat and windy. There was a 20-degree wind chill when I woke up one day,
Oh,
and, like,
no.
I just don't and the first time, like so we're at this, like, indoor-outdoor water park, and clearly the outdoor part is closed, and so there's ways to walk outside and ways to walk inside. And then, like, we had to walk outside one night, and it was super windy, and I was like, "Insert joke about making Indians walk across cold, windy plains in
Uh,
Oklahoma." I
oh,
didn't have anything.
man.
But no, the weather y'all are great, but your weather is terrible, and I said that to everybody. It is so cold,
I
so
tell you what,
cold.
I was telling a client today, I'm kinda upset I couldn't bring, LA's weather back with us, but it sounds like you did bring Oklahoma's weather back with you.
Oh my god. Everybody kept looking at me, and they're like, where's your coat?" And I was like, "Okay, well,
Like, I
first off,
don't own those.
I don't. I was like, "I know the difference between a coat and a jacket, and I only have a jacket because I own
Oh,
one coat, it's
man.
massive, and I can't get it on an airplane. It'd be its own bag." Like, I
Yeah.
don't and so, like, I'm explaining that, I was like, "I literally all of the shirts that I brought, all my long sleeve shirts were crop tops." And I was like,
Oh,
"I
no.
don't
Oh,
own anything
no.
else. I don't own anything else." So then I had to wear, like, leggings under my dress one day. I
We had very different it's like we went and had different seasons.
I
Oh, man.
just I also I'm, like, sitting there in the conference center, like, doing my work, and I'm watching the wind outside and how much it's blowing, like, all of, like, the grass and stuff, and I'm like, "I now understand how the dust bowl happened." Like, I when you don't live
Yes,
somewhere like that, it's you sure, you can theoretically put it together, but when you live in
sure.
South Carolina or California, you're like, "I don't know," and then you get there, you're like, "I see it now. I see it.
Well,
I see it."
that was the interesting thing on our trip because, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, California had a ton of rain, which is, as I feel like everyone knows, it's just not common for them. I think so much, I believe I saw that they were actually finally out of a drought. California out of a
Mhm,
drought. So that that says everything you
mhm.
need there. But when we went to Catalina, that was the one thing they pointed out is that when we were there, everything was actually green. And they
Mhm.
said normally it's pretty much brown and dirt, like it's a
Yeah,
desert. And I
it's
was like,
winter, yes.
wow, I didn't like wouldn't have even thought about this.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, we went
Somebody
different
t
places.
Oh, yeah, and then somebody else, because we were all from out of town, said something about they're under a burn warning, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, we get those in South Carolina," and
Yeah,
they're like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I mean, like, probably for different reasons, but, like, yeah, like, they'd been under a burn ban for, I don't know, a few days or whatever. It's like, "Oh, yeah, if we worried about it in South Carolina with hills and humidity, I would be
yeah,
very concerned out here." Um
exactly.
But it was a lot of fun. My grandmother on my mom's side of the family is from Oklahoma. I always confuse people. My white grandmother is from Oklahoma. My indigenous grandmother is from Arizona. I don't know. I didn't make up the family tree. It's just the way it is. Um, so I kept texting my mother the entire time I was there and asking her why her people were from here, what was
Why
wrong.
here?
Like, yeah. And then my mother kept saying to me two things, Eva. Number one, we already talked about this once. My grandmother passed away a very long time ago. She lived a long life, and she moved back to Oklahoma when she was older, and so I went with my mom after her funeral to, like, pack up all of her stuff from her apartment. So I was in Veneta, Oklahoma, which is on the other side of
Vanita.
Tulsa. Uh-huh, and Tulsa's 99 miles from, Oklahoma City. I learned so much this weekend.
All right.
Um so the entire time we were driving to my grandmother's apartment years ago, I was fussing about how flat it was. So then I'm asking my mom all these questions, and she was like, "Number 1, we've already talked about this. Number 2, I've never lived in Oklahoma, Eva. She moved to Arkansas before I was born. Stop asking me these questions. Stop
I know
asking me these
nothing.
questions." Yeah, she's like, "I
I
don't know."
will say I just felt like, and I'm curious if you experience this too. And again, background, most of my adolescence was in West Virginia, right? So I'm used to not being able to see that far because you look to the left, you look to the right, there's a mountain, right? And when I went out to Amarillo the first time, I had such unexplained anxiety
Yes. Yes.
because of how flat it was. And I'm curious if that's how you felt in Oklahoma.
So, not this time because we were in a city, and so
Oh, that probably helps a lot.
I was in the city. I was in the city, so not in the city, but when I was there a long time ago driving from I think I may have driven from Arkansas out there. I drove for a long time. Yes, it is disorienting. Like,
Right? Exactly.
it's
Disorienting is the
disorienting.
best word.
Yes.
And I think you're speaking in Amarillo soon. They usually put you in this giant building at the top
Mhm.
floor when you speak, and you see how far the earth is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure like, you can't see hills, but you can see the curvature of the earth. It
Yeah.
is wild. Blew
I
my mind.
landed I landed in Oklahoma, and as soon as I could turn my phone on, I texted my mom, and I was like, "Mama," I hope she read it the way, "Mama, I could throw a bowling ball right now, and it would make it to Colorado." Like, what is happening?
Oh,
Wild.
man.
Wild.
Wild.
Wild, wild, wild. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I did it, and then I came back and judged 2 virtual shows, one on Monday and one on Tuesday. So, between Thursday at 7 p.m. and Tuesday at 8 p.m., I think that maybe it was 6 8 anyways, Thursday to Tuesday, I judged 1,243 Addy entries.
Ooh,
Mhm.
that's too much.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I tried to limit how many shows I took on this year. I only took on
Mhm,
2. I think they're both medium to smaller, but they haven't
mhm.
started yet. But oh man, that's just a lot. It can be draining. Very
It can
draining.
be. I worked shockingly on the flight back on Sunday, and then my son was out of school on Monday, but he went with his dad for a little bit, so, like, I had, like, a half day to work, and then
Good.
yesterday, I was inexplicably sick, and everybody's general consensus is that I was just exhausted, and my body was making me
More than
stop.
likely. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I got a full night's sleep last night. I'm a little better today. I'm not, like, great, but I'm a little better. I'm up and doing stuff. I texted Danielle this morning. I was like, "I didn't gag in front of a client today unlike yesterday, so we're doing great."
And
Doing
we've
great.
gotten through pretty much the whole episode without you throwing up, which is
I'm
exciting.
doing amazing. Doing amazing.
We're doing things here.
Um, doing great. We're doing great. So yeah, you had a great trip to California. I had a great trip to
Yes.
Oklahoma. I did continually, if somebody was trying to, like, take me somewhere, I made a lot of jokes about, "Oh, it's not to a reservation, is it? Because fool me once."
I can't. I
So
can't.
many times I said, I can make these jokes. I got my own blankets. I didn't ask anybody for a blanket.
Very
I'll
nice.
get it
And you
myself.
should have because you were freezing.
I was so cold. So,
Oh,
anyways,
man.
now we're back in South Carolina, and my heat's not gonna be able to keep up because I live in a very old house, not made for heat. So
I had when I came back from California and I go to get in my car, Eva. I so I have an electric car, which means I need the handles to pop out.
Oh,
I
I
can
saw you
hear
post. I didn't
Oh, yeah,
understand what you meant. Yeah, okay.
I could hear the car door unlocked, but my handles weren't coming out, and I was like, "Oh, no." And it's mind you, it's 11 o'clock at night. My husband and my daughter went to Charleston for the weekend, and I'm like, I could Uber if I have to," but I'm like, "Am
Mhm,
I stuck here?" Because my handles are frozen. Talk about a way to come back from California. You get back from this glorious weather to
mhm.
your car's literally frozen and won't open. I even climate started it so it would thaw it out, and it didn't, and I'm sitting there trying to, like, rub the handle, trying to get it out of there. Oh, man. I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to go home. It did thaw eventually, but how ridiculous. Insane. All right.
Well, we have spent this episode talking about adventures. Mine was work related, yours, but I think it's important to talk about like traveling as a solopreneur. Like, what do you
I do
do? Work
too.
for, yeah. So hopefully I'll get some non-work travel in this year. Maybe we could do a reverse episode where I talk
Oh, I
about
like
something
that.
fun.
I like that idea.
Yeah. So I don't know what we're talking about next week or next time. And it's not because Danielle wrote something and I didn't read it. We haven't planned it yet. Right?
We've done nothing. I haven't. My
Okay, good.
type A self hasn't even planned out the 2026, but
Yeah.
you guys will find out as soon as we do.
Yep. I've got some ideas, so we'll bat around some stuff. And I'm sure it'll be great. And yeah, we'll chat with you then. So
Sounds good. We'll
all
talk to you
right.
more next time.
Thanks for coming back in 2026. I don't know.
Thank
It's
you.
awkward. I feel
Seriously.
awkward.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Appreciate you. Love y'all. All right. Talk to y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Remember to follow us on Instagram at Ghost Boss Podcast, and also please like and review us on your favorite podcast app.